Hello, my fellow Kenyans. Habari zenu wa Kenya wenzangu. I'm Gakonga, your coach and the pioneer of Vision Total Football Kenya. My fellow Kenyans, today I want us to talk deep issues. This is hard talk. Be ready to listen. And now, let us dive into the deep end and swim at the deep end. My fellow Kenyans, I want to say this. Football Kenya Federation, or abbreviation FKF Dictatorship, is destroying our Kenyan football. Truth must be told and it will stand the test of time. I'm not the soft-speaking, begging guy. I tell things the way they are. My fellow Kenyans, this is the truth. Why do we have the National Federation negotiating deals for local football clubs? These are sponsorship deals I'm talking about, my fellow Kenyans. Why, again, do we have the National Football Federation negotiating deals for Super League, the next top league in our Kenyan football? And now you hear the talks that FKF want to take Kenya Premier League when the contract ends in October this year. My fellow Kenyans, I keep saying this. Kenyan Premier League must understand that, in fact, it is their right to run or to manage Kenyan Premier League affairs. Yes, the federation is there to oversight and as a father, but is not to run the Kenyan Premier League, because the federation cannot claim to be on the governance side of football and then that it also want to run or to manage Kenyan Premier League. That is conflict of interest at its best, my fellow Kenyans. And then, as I said, as we go down, we have the federation already, negotiating deals for the Super League. We have the federation already negotiating deals for county clubs, my fellow Kenyans. Where will it end? This is so damaging to our Kenyan football. This dictatorship approach, this thing of the federation having to put its hand on every cookie jar in Kenya, it is raising concerns, and it is a serious issue in our Kenyan football. And this is why we must confront issues and talk about issues, rather than just standing aside and watching. Our football is a multi-billion industry, but it has died. It is dry. It has no money. Clubs are crying. Coaches are crying. Clubs are shutting doors. Every day, my fellow Kenyans, you go down mpaka mashinani, there is no money. Our football is actually operating at negative in terms of economy. And I'm saying this as an accountant. For those who don't understand, my background is coaching and accountant and a youth educator. So things that I talk here are not experimental. I talk things that I have experience in. And my fellow Kenyans, I can tell you now, our Kenyan football is going deep and deep and deep. And it will soon arrive to the deep end, where it is not possible to actually rescue our Kenyan football for the next 100 years. So let us not take matters easy. Things are serious and very serious, my fellow Kenyans. Now, in this issue of football election, Kenyan football election, we have those who are opposing the current office bearers or the current president, And I hear all the issues all the time. I hear the aspirant talking a lot, but I have never had any vision for Kenyan football coming from any of the aspirants. I have never also had a vision for our Kenyan football coming from the federation itself. My question is this: what is all this fight? Why do people want to die in this FKF office, and yet they don't give any vision? They don't improve our football. For the last 40 years, I can count all the presidents who have been around managing the national office. What change has Kenyans seen? And in fact, things are worse now than they were 10 years, 8 years back in Kenyan football. So we must wake up and we must be able to evaluate. We must able to assess what has been happening. We must able to see the situation as it is. I keep saying there is no single football president in Kenya that will sort the issues of Kenyan football. The issues of Kenyan football are beyond repair. They are beyond elections and football presidents. My fellow Kenyans, my words are true and final. A new beginning is the only way for our Kenyan football, my fellow Kenyans. This is the truth. Look around. You can smell the danger that is in our football. Should we all sit down and hope for the best? Should we all go to the churches and mosque and pray that God will improve our football? No, there are matters on this earth that we as human must face them and correct them. Yeah, and we cannot keep saying it is because of our government. Our government does not care about football. For God's sake, how many things do we expect the government to do? The government expect the Ministry of Sports and the various federations to do what is right. We cannot keep blaming the government. The issue is leadership. My fellow Kenyans, yeah, everything falls and rises on leadership. Bad leadership, maisha mbaya, my friends. And we have bad leadership in our sports federation and specifically in our Kenya Football Federation. We have categorically, I can say this, we have bad leadership. Everything that we see going wrong can be traced back to the leadership. So I'm saying this, I do not understand why people want to die in this FKF office. Yes, everyone want to be the president of FKF, but to do what? To do what? Explain to Kenyans. To do what? What you have not done for the last few years if you have been in office, or what you want to do if you have never been in office. I'm talking of all the aspirants. I'm not talking about just one of them. We want to hear ideas. We want to hear the next 10, 50, 60 years where our Kenyan football will be, and that's according to you. Your vision. Tell us, we will listen. I have said again and again, anyone who feels I criticize FKF unfairly, please tell me otherwise. I'm ready to listen. Conversate with me. My contacts are available, my fellow Kenyans. Yeah, they are all in public domain. Tell me something that I can say, yes, I have had something positive. But I see a lot of supporters of Vision Total Football Kenya and a lot of people complaining about Kenyan football. People understand the issues out there, but the leadership itself does not understand the issues or does not understand what to do. This is a true cry when I see football fans, football supporters of Vision Total Football Kenya addressing real issues. These are real issues. And on the issue of elections, again, we have these positions like 1, woman rep, 2, youth rep. What is the role of the woman rep in Kenyan football? What will be the role of a youth rep in Kenyan football? People are not advised. People are not consulted. People are not told what will be the role of the role of this woman rep and youth rep. Even at the national level, we have now a position called woman rep position. What is her role? Because every time a new role is created, it must be explained to the stakeholders what will entail that role. And this is our problem, because as I understand, the federation is following the politics in Kenya. They hear there is a woman rep, they decide to have a woman rep. Then the federation hears that there is a youth rep. Yeah, then suddenly we hear we have a youth rep in Kenyan football. Then you hear there is an issue of running mate. What does the running mate has to do with Kenyan football? I keep saying this, and this was introduced in 2017, yeah, in that delegate conference that was in Mombasa. But I just want to understand why we keep following the political path, which has no meaning in Kenyan football. Yeah, a woman rep who will finally become the deputy president. Just use the word deputy president, but we are politicizing our football as we go along. And this experimentation in our Kenyan football is killing our football very, 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 very quickly. And this is a path that we cannot continue. This is a road that Kenyans must say no. Our football is dying when people are fighting, yeah, and wasting so much money to make sure they become the next president, that someone becomes the next president of FKF. Yeah. And on the other side, the federation is operating at a loss. The federation is not making any money. This is the truth. So for me, I like us to confront issues. I want us to face the issues, because unless we admit we have failed, Unless we understand we have been facing the wrong direction, traveling facing the wrong direction, we are never going to find the right direction. We never know where we need to take a U-turn because we keep waiting. Every year there's an election. I mean, every 4 years, whenever there's an election, you hear that, oh, hopefully a new president will do something. So we peg our hope on individuals. We need to get to a point where we peg our hopes on institutions and system. Yeah, it is not about individuals. We have seen enough individuals. If they were to change Kenyan football, it would have changed by now. My fellow Kenyans, I wanted to share this hard talk because it is really important that we keep talking and speaking the truth and telling our people what is the problem in our Kenyan football. First, we must accept we have a serious problem, and then the way forward. My fellow Kenyans, I live in peace. I'm gone.